How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Last time, the curse of the Mummy Me lived on, as we went on the flip panel footpath, we drop road dashed, and we went to Puff Peak. This time, the memories of our adventure will keep on living as we head into Episode 1, Prologue. So yes, you get to replay through all of the prologue levels that accompanied each of the 3 first books. However, there are secret objectives in each of these 3 prologues, and they are, across all 3 of them, to find the hidden golden mushroom. The hidden golden mushroom in the first prologue is right here in this little cave alcove, which is very nice. And now we can go ahead and just go by Toadette, as long as I don't keep hitting the wall, and grab the power star. Not only do you get to play through the first 3 prologues again, but you also get to watch Wingo steal Toadette, which is a bit of a problem, considering we just rescued her and we just completed a lot of levels with her. Anyway, let's move on to Episode 2's prologue. And once again, the secret objective is to find the hidden golden mushroom, which I honestly don't really remember all too well. All I know is that it's not in a little alcove like the first one. But just to be sure, I guess I'll check like every nook and corner. Actually, I think it's on top of that little stone pillar there, so I think I have to drop down from up here. And yes, it is. There we go. Alright, gold mushroom right there. Yeah, that one I don't know, for some reason I always have trouble with that one. There's a lot of these levels in this game where I have some trouble with, I don't know why. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab the power star. There we go, found the hidden golden mushroom, which you already saw. So, now that we've had Captain Toad kidnapped again, let's go into Episode 3's prologue. And magically, Captain Toad is back by himself in a dark cave place. You would think that the hidden golden mushroom is down on the water level there, but actually that is not the case. The golden mushroom is along the Invisibridge right here, as I like to call them. Yeah, if I was developing the game, I probably would have just put the golden mushroom on the bottom of the water level, but, I didn't produce the game. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab the power star. And if you guessed we'd be watching another kidnapping cutscene, you'd be right. And there we go, that is episode 3's prologue behind us. Thankfully there wasn't another one for the beginning of the bonus book. Congratulations! There's a new page in bonus. And this new page in bonus lets us keep on tracking towards one of the hardest levels in the game, if not the hardest. And that level... oh, that level... is Mummy Me Maze Forever. In the Switch and 3DS versions, you need 204 Super Gems to unlock it. In the Wii U version, you need 192. Without any further ado, let's unlock Mummy Me Maze Forever, and let's tackle this. Oh, God, I'm so nervous. No backing down now. Let's do it. Okay, so most of this Mummy Me Maze was going to be post-commentary anyway, then I lost the commentary file that did have any live bits in it, so unfortunately, or kind of fortunately, I don't really know, now I can fully tell you about the Mummy Me Maze experience. So, in this level, much like we saw in the little Mummy Me Maze bonus coin missions throughout the other books, Captain Toad must navigate through a series of mazes and locate the warp box at the end of each one, which of course leads to the next room. There are 50 rooms total, 50 levels, 50 floors, whatever you want to call it, in Mummy Me Maze Forever. Of course, you can tell the rock blocks are making up the layout, but they are different patterns in each room. However, the enemy patterns are always the same across certain numbers of floors. So every 5th room will contain a horde of Chargin' Chucks and a Magic Koopa. The Chargin' Chucks do increase in size as we keep going every 5th floor, and I believe there's also a second Magic Koopa eventually in one of those levels. And there are various rooms that can be used as resting spots. Only 3 of them, though. Rooms 10, 20, and 35 are designated resting points. They contain a ring of pluck patches, and they always will contain a super mushroom and a golden mushroom. And of course, they also have a super pickaxe, which you can use in the next floor if you so wish, to help navigate the rock block path very easier. Now, I'm going to be talking about the enemy patterns for each of these rooms, so yeah, let's get started. Rooms 1 through 4 will feature piranha plants. Simple enough. I should actually mention before that, a viable strategy to use, of course, is your reticle. Obviously, keep moving the camera around. It would be very stupid of you not to do that. But using the reticle on the Switch version with your Joy-Con, with your Pro Controller, or if you're playing in handheld, of course, just use your finger. And of course, the touchscreen on the Wii U, Gamepad, and 3DS. Using the stun feature on enemies is going to be very, 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 very beneficial to you. So yeah, that's just a tip I would like to mention. Use your reticle or your finger often to stun enemies. Trust me, you will need it. So yes, to recap, rooms 1 through 4 will feature piranha plants. Rooms 6 through 9, nice, will feature piranha sprouts. Rooms 11 through 14 will feature Goombas and Goomba towers. Rooms 16 through 19 will feature Boos, which is one of the hardest layouts to navigate. Rooms 21 through 24 will feature fire piranha plants, and super mushroom spawns are more common in those levels. Of course, you can get super mushrooms and even super pickaxes and golden mushrooms in any of these levels, but again, it's pretty rare. You're more common to get super mushrooms, though, with the fire piranha plants. Rooms 26 through 29 will be Shy Guys. Rooms 31 through 34 are Bullet Bill Blasters. On rooms 36 through 39 will be Piranha Sprouts, but double Piranha Sprouts, not like rooms 6 through 9. Nice. Rooms 41 through 44 will feature Bullet Bills and Goombas / Goomba Towers, and Super Pickaxes will be more common during then. And finally, rooms 46 through 49 are going to be Boos and Fire Piranha Plants. Fire Piranha Plants, I definitely recommend using the stun strategy because They can obviously move their heads in different directions as you are walking, and if you go a certain way when you're walking past them and go back into their line of fire, you can definitely get hit and lose your mushrooms. So definitely try to avoid all enemy contact as much as possible. Your reticle and your finger will be your friend. And that pretty much wraps up Captain Toad, except for the fact, it wraps up Mummy Me Maze Forever. We still got a little bit more to go in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, but I should have started this out more so with the bonus objective. In the Wii U and Switch versions, the goal is to collect 5,000 coins. There are about 100 to 200 coins or more per each level, so if you really wanted to, you could collect every single coin in every single level, and then you could end off this entire thing with 9,999. I believe that's the maximum. But on the 3DS version, because of hardware limitations, there are less coins, which means that on the 3DS version, it's 3,000 coins, I believe, for the secret objective. So, yeah. And of course, much like I mentioned earlier how Charge and Chucks will increase in size every 5th floor, the Mummy Me's will eventually also increase in the number of them chasing you. So, yeah, just be on the safe side and just keep on moving, try not to get in a corner. So, since I'm done breaking down everything in terms of how the Mummy Me Maze works, I guess I can talk about the actual recording process for this video. I was actually going to use mostly live commentary anyway, like I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of introducing this level. So, yeah, I was going through the Mummy Me Maze pretty well. I don't think I've reached the point yet, but at a certain point, very close to the end, I ended up dying. And that's not very great. I ended up dying. You'll see when it pops up, and you'll probably be very heartbroken for me. But yeah, I was very close to the end on my first attempt, which stinged a little more, because I almost made it. And then I had a bit of trouble after that. I usually got to around the 30th floor, and then everything started going pretty bad. But yeah, everything was kind of smooth sailing, for the most part. And what I mean by that is, I really didn't have the easiest time. So, as I mentioned, or alluded to, I almost did it on my first attempt, and afterwards I had a bit of a string of bad luck. And because of that, my hands felt a lot of pain in terms of making sure I was in a good position with my fingers, and making sure the camera was in proper places, and then using my fingers for the reticle. It caused a lot of hand pain. And normally I don't actually experience that. The last time I actually did experience any kind of pain when playing a video game was actually in my original Captain Toad Let's Play on this specific level on the Wii U. And it took maybe a day or two for it to go away, and I'm sure I'll be fine overall. But yeah, it wasn't very easy. And that sucks, because A, of course, pain, ow, and B, again, I hate to point it out so much, but I almost did this level in one try. And judging by my commentary right now, I don't think you've seen me die yet, so I'm not gonna spoil which floor it was, obviously. You'll see for yourself. But it was the closest I've ever been to finishing the level on my first try. And that sucks. It was a little disheartening. And of course, after that, I was a little more cautious every single time, which means I was more cautious with my camera work and my movements, which caused even more physical pain. But yeah, it wasn't very easy. Getting to the highest floor where I died would be like 20 minutes every single time, especially if I went and did grabbing all the coins on the earlier floors, which is a viable strategy too. Collecting almost every coin on the first couple floors, like the first 10 floors, let's say, because you only really have the piranha plants and sprouts to deal with. So yeah, so using that kind of strategy I wouldn't say it's the best. In fact, I gotta be honest here, even though I had a lot of pain in my hands, honestly, I think I would prefer the Wii U, or even, I guess, the 3DS version, not just because of the limited, the decreased secret objective for the 3DS version, but rather because it's like the Wii U version where you can use the touchscreen. So I think the touchscreen is a lot better, and also I guess playing the Switch version in handheld mode would be fine. But yeah, using maybe it would have been fine with Joy-Con by itself, I don't know, but my Joy-Con drift, but a lot of people Joy-Cons drift. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit off topic. Yeah, I might probably prefer the touchscreen aspect of Mummy Me Maze because your hands are probably going to hurt anyway, regardless, especially if it takes about 2 hours to completely record everything like it took me. So, yeah, I think I'd prefer the handheld mode, because with your fingers it's a lot easier to just rub on the screen to, you know, pause an enemy. Although, make sure that your hands are clean when you do that, because otherwise, if you have, like, grease from a potato chip on it, which I experienced with my Wii U playthrough, then it's gonna leave a bit of a smudge on your device. But yeah, so that's basically my experiences with playing Mummy Me Maze Forever on Captain Toad. As far as ranking it against the other hard Mario levels, I honestly think Captain Toad is probably as hard as the Perfect Run. Or maybe even worse, I gotta be honest. It's a pretty brutal level. Of course, if you're a pro gamer, you can probably do it in your first try, like I almost did, and failed at. But yeah, it's a pretty difficult level. There's no mincing words about that. It is very, very tough. And it would take a lot of skill to get it on your first try, and a lot of patience, too. Because, of course, again, anybody could, you know, do everything in one try. It's just a matter of the patience, your handwork, I guess, for the controller that you're using. It's all in the practice, let's just say, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much my personal hell, I guess you can say, with the Mummy Me Maze Forever across 2 different Let's Plays, basically, in terms of my storytelling here. So I guess I will be seeing you towards the end of the Mummy Me Maze when I see you on my attempts after dying for the first time. So, yeah, I guess I can get some thank yous out of the way now, since this isn't actually this isn't the end of the Let's Play, because there's also the special episode, which is exclusive to the Switch version. I don't know, I'm a little delirious, honestly, from playing through Mummy Me Maze across 2 hours. And 2 different days, by the way. It took 2 days to record. An hour and a half on the first day, when I almost beat it on the first try and then struggled a lot. And then I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna take a break, because I recorded it at, like, 9 p.m. anyway, so, and it ended at, like, 10:30, my recording of the first day, so I was like, I'll just wait. I honestly was going to just play it again at, like, midnight, because I took a break on the floor 35 stage, and, like, just put my Switch away, didn't pay any bother to it, rested my hands a bit. I was gonna play it, like, a couple hours later after the fact, but I decided against it. And I'm honestly glad I did, because even though I did die immediately on my first playthrough the next day, I did end up feeling a little better with my hands, although they hurt still now, again, so maybe I should have waited an extra day, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling. I will see you on the 50th and final floor of the Mummy Me Maze Forever. For now, enjoy all of the ins and outs in terms of navigating through the rock blocks, getting to the warp pipe, and advancing on each floor. I've played this part back several times, and it stings each and every single one. I'm such an idiot. But at least I got a palindrome. I've never been more happy to see gold in my entire life. The final room of the Mummy Me Maze Forever is filled with the Toad Brigade, including Archivist Toadette, and a bunch of treasure that we've tracked for a very long time. Not only that, there are pluck patches that spell out thank you like almost every final hard Mario level. And the cool thing about this, though, is that instead of any clear pipes or one of the others, like in Odyssey or in 3D World or 3D Land, instead, the pluck patches actually give out a lot of golden mushrooms. So, technically, you could come to the Mummy Me Maze Forever's 50th and final level with, I think, about 3,200 coins ahead of the final level, and the golden mushrooms will give you enough to get the secret objective, which is honestly insane. In fact, for the 3DS version, unless they limited the amount of golden mushrooms in the pluck patches on the final level, you can pretty much ignore like every coin, except for like 200 in the rest of the Mummy Me Maze on the 3DS version, which would actually be insane if it isn't limited, but I imagine it is, because, you know, hardware and all that. Moving on, there's actually a really cool poster inside of the 50th level of the Mummy Me Maze. So if I go all the way to this wall over here and zoom in the camera a little bit, you can see that there is a very rare poster for Mario inside of this level. I'll leave an HD version of the poster up on screen so you can see it in a little bit better detail. But with that out of the way, it is time for us to grab our grand prize of the Mummy Me Maze. A very nice and sparkly crown. Congratulations! You can now play Coins Galore courses anytime you like in bonus. So, once you defeat the Mummy Me Maze, you have unlimited Coins Galore at your disposal. I'm not going to be showing these off right now, but every single Coins Galore level bonus thing we've seen is available at the end of this bonus book after clearing Mummy Me Maze Forever. Next time on Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, we head to the Switch exclusive special episode. For now, thank you for watching, and until then, catch you later.